Hey people, it's Naya Stokey. This is another Black Heroes video. So this is Madison, Washington, the Creole Mutiny. So the source I'm using is blackpast.org, the Creole case. The Creole case was the result of an American slave revolt in November 1841 on board the Creole, a ship involved in the United States coastwise slave trade. As a consequence of the revolt, 128 enslaved people won their freedom in the Bahamas, then a British possession. Because the number of people eventually freed, the Creole Mutiny was the most successful slave revolt in U.S. history. In the fall of 1841, the Big Creole, which was owned by the Johnson and Epperson Company of Richmond, Virginia, transported 135 slaves from Richmond for sale in New Orleans, Louisiana. The Creole had left Richmond with 100 free slaves and picked up another 32 in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Most of the slaves were owned by Johnson and Epperson, but 26 were owned by Thomas McCargo, a slave trader who was one of the Creole passengers. The ship also carried tobacco, a crew of 10, the captain's wife, daughter, and niece, 4 passengers, including slave traders, and 8 slaves of the traders. Madison, Washington, a enslaved man who escaped to Canada in 1840, but was captured and sold when he returned to Virginia in search of his wife Susan, was among those being shipped to New Orleans, November 7, 1841. Washington and 18 other male slaves rebelled, overwhelming the crew and killing John R. Hewell, one of the slave traders. The ship's captain, Robert Ensor, along with several crew members, was wounded but survived. One of the slaves was badly wounded and later died. The rebels took overseer William Merritt at his word that he would navigate for them. They first demanded that the ship be taken to Liberia. When Merritt told them that the voyage was impossible because of a shortage of food or water, another rebel, Ben Blacksman, said they should be taken to the British West Indies, because he knew the slaves from the Hermosa had gained their freedom the previous year under similar circumstance. On November 9, 1841, the Creole reached Nassau, where it was first boarded by the harbor pilot and his crew, all local black Bahamians. They told the American slaves that under British law they were free and advised them to go ashore at once. As Captain Ensor was badly wounded, the Bahamian quarantine officer took First Mate Zephaniah Gifford to inform the American consul of the events. At the consul's request, the British government of the Bahamas ordered a guard to board the Creole to prevent the escape of the men implicated in Hewell's death. The British took Washington and 18 conspirators into custody on the charges of mutiny, while the rest of the enslaved were allowed to live as free people, including some who remained in the Bahamas and others who sailed to Jamaica. 5 people, who included 3 women, a girl, and a boy, decided to stay aboard the Creole and sail the ship to New Orleans, returning to slavery. On April 16, 1842, the Admiralty Court in Nassau ordered the surviving 17 mutineers to be freed and released, including Washington. In total, 128 enslaved people gained their freedom, which made the Creole Mutiny the most successful slave revolt in U.S. history. So let's have some applause for Madison, Washington, leading that rebellion that freed 128 people from their freedom and saving them from the atrocities that were happening in the American South. Please comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.